World Trigger. This is World Trigger Chapter 207, the Away Mission Test Part 5. A full 40 pages of manga. Wrong sound, but that's still majestic as hell.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah, I guess this is what's going forward. Ashihara is finally giving us like monthly size chapters. Very excited about that. I'll take any more World Trigger any day of the week. But we're starting off with the start of the away mission test. This is kind of like the non-battle one, the test that will have certain squads just put into a pod and see if they can live with each other, essentially. And we start off with Suwa Squad, which has Osamu in it. And we spend most of our time with them, as he is the MC of this story. They enter in. They have to change their clothes. I guess like they can't bring too many personal effects on board on the ship. They get these random designed long sleeve T-shirts.
I have a theory behind that, by the way.
That's interesting.
Well, I mean, light theory. Just that I think he did that for the sake of the readers, so we can help remember. Like we can associate not only the character design, but the design on the T-shirt.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I feel like they're gonna
ton of characters to like
Oh yeah,
keep track of.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely true. I mean, to go to the effort, because this is actually artistically kind of hard to do, is to have these designs on everything. From experience,
have them consistent.
Yeah. So, all that effort has to amount to something, I would imagine. But essentially, they are guided inside, and inside they have triggers of their own. Each person on every squad is given a trigger. They enter to a completely dark room, and they see this panel on the side, which essentially is basically how you fuel the ship. Once Osamu puts his hand on it, the whole ship lights up, and as we already know, these ships are powered almost exclusively by Tryon. So this is a simulation of what it would be. Yeah, and we get like the announcer guy kind of explaining how it goes. They activate their triggers and they switch over, or they switch over to their Tryon bodies. Part of the rule of the game of this test is that they have to remain in their Tryon bodies throughout the duration of the exam. They get these laptops as well, that we learn later that's where captains get their orders from the top, and they are to relay them to their squad mates. Before the test that can begin, every captain has to kind of explain their methodology for choosing their team. And yeah, it's a lot going on. I guess I'll try to simplify it as best I can. Utagawa squad he put his team together based on mobility and long-term combat. All his squad mates are more accustomed to doing that, with Yuma being able to run around, and Tomo doing the same. Just mobile, strong fighters that can last long in a fight. OG also, I think a lot of these people kind of thought of mobility because OG squad kind of says something along those same lines, where he just wanted people who can run and use swords. So, stuff like that. Yeah, Kakizaki picked his squad. Basically, he wanted people who are more experienced in A-rank battles because he assumes that there's going to be A-rank agents participating in the second phase of the exam. And
pretty slick.
Yeah. Inukai and Kagiura both used to be A-rank squads. So, it's a good way to go.
And what's her name? The child prodigy herself that's going to become the new greatest agent of World Trigger. I mean, we
haven't even got there yet. Oh my god!
Yeah.
You couldn't wait. You could not wait.
Korai.
You couldn't wait to get to what's her face. I don't even remember her name. Why do you fix it?
No, I was gonna make a strong point. Come on, man.
Where are you?
Well, look. The point is, all right. She's directly learning from her captain, which is Yuba, right? And he was previously in A rank as well, wasn't he?
Yeah. I mean, she's not on his
So
squad.
yes, she is.
Not right
Not
now.
right now,
Yeah.
but I'm saying she learns directly from him.
Oh, geez.
You know what I'm saying? That's her squad mate. So I guess like while the other two have direct, I guess A rank experience, she also has it indirectly.
Yeah.
Just thought that was pretty clever.
Okay.
What was kind of weird was the fact that he picked Ikoma.
Oh no, we're talking about Kaki's OG squad. Oh, you're talking
said
about OG.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, he did have Ikoma. Ikoma's very strong, so I think.
Oh, you know what? I definitely. Yeah. That's That's the squad I was talking about.
Oh yeah.
No, he is strong, but don't they got beef?
No. They just fought in a rank war, but they don't have beef.
Yeah, you're right.
It's Kageura and Inukai who have beef, apparently. Because Kageura hates Inukai. It's kind of funny. But yeah, he's the one who wanted Kageura and Inukai because they both have experience on A rank. Kitazo didn't really have a plan because I think he picked close to last in every part of the lottery. So he was just kind of at the mercy of that. So his concept was like, I think we got a decent balance, and he basically got all of the 16-year-olds for the most part, and that was basically his most strong through line. The only problem is that, well, I remember Hana. She's on Katori's squad. She's the operator from Katori's squad.
Yeah.
But he also got two of like completely conflicting personalities to Kikuchi Hara, who's kind of bummed that he's there.
Yeah, he can't believe that was his. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That even though, as he said, he's at the mercy of the draft. Come on, man! You can put a little bit more thought into just the age range, but
hey, you got an A-rank agent. Which is
you got a group of more. I guess like they're closer in age range, so they're more relatable, and that matters if you got to stay with a group of people for a full week.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think they'll do pretty okay. It's pretty cool. We get to Kuruma's squad, and Kuruma's squad, he's basically like, hey, you're all positive folks with stamina to burn, so I think we can do pretty good in a battle coming up. And he has Yuba squad as a second in command because Yuba's a more like a firm hand. He's also like the second oldest in the team. He's gonna keep everybody in line, which is pretty cool. I like seeing Yuba being like, hell yeah, I'm going to be a great second in command. I appreciate that about him. He reminds me of Ida in a way where he's like very dutiful and very nice when he has to. He's about the mission. I appreciate that. Codera picked his squad because of mobility for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah. They may not have the best Tryon levels, but all of them can really fight, and Codera is a sniper, so it's a better balance on his team. He's also an A rank member, so that's kind of cool. Ninomiya basically says that he pretty much just got lucky in the first two rounds, so he got two pretty strong players in Azuma and Chika.
Yeah.
And he was like, I chose Emma because, and Emma's like,
chill. Don't say it, right?
Chill. And I mean, Ninomiya, good for him for being a good wingman. He comes up with something.
No, he's really been like tame about the situation. Like he's been very cooperative, low key.
Yeah,
he doesn't even have to be dramatic about it. He just pauses for a moment and goes, "Yeah, I just thought it'd be great to have another sniper for our
just like
the communicator,
just like Arafune squad." And I guess Kagami is his team's.
I didn't even realize that. That is true. That is a team full of snipers, right?
No, I'm saying I think he mentions that he chose because he had Kagami who's their operator, that it'll be an easier time. Oh no, because they're all three snipers, they'd have their operator would have an easier time. Because she'd only have to plan for like what snipers would do and have one attacker. She doesn't have to coordinate all these different positions. Pretty slick, Ninomiya. He went ham.
He did, man. He's like, yeah, I can handle the rest.
You guys just perch up somewhere.
Yeah, right. Just watch my back.
Get my blind side, which is my entire
side.
back.
I'll handle everything else.
359
degrees.
Yeah. Mizukame chose his squad strictly on intelligence. He's just like, well, I got Cone, so I might as well get other smart players. And he's like, I think we could do really well in the sealed environment phase and get our bonus. You know, he seems to be like the only one who really wasn't thinking about the battle exam.
Yeah, he's like, man, we're gonna get this Brizette and we'll figure it out after that.
It's interesting because everybody else thought about it. Except for Mizukami. He's the only one who's like, I just want the bonus. So let's just get through this bonus. And Murakami, he's like, man, I picked whoever thought it was best in the moment. I didn't really put too much thought into the future, but I figured since Hiyami's here, she'll pretty much figure it out for us. She's a capable operator. And he's like, I've never played the role of captain before, so I've subconsciously wound up picking up a bunch of solid second in commands.
And that was true, man. Look at them.
Yeah. This was a really cool, because their squad is also very cool. Like, I know that Kurachi, I remember him for having the salamander bullet that explodes. I like Kumagai a lot. I think she's fucking cool. She's from
she's
Nasu.
dope. She got a lot of heart.
Yeah, she's got a lot of heart. And Susumi from Suwa Squad, who's got the shotguns.
That guy. He's,
double shotgun action. I appreciate it. But yeah, he's like, I mean, we'll figure it out. Rokudera is basically like, I had pretty much the worst luck of the draw. I think Rokudera chose like first one time. But yeah, he also picked whoever was best in the moment. And finally, we have Suwa, who basically just went by his gut. And he was just like, I don't know. The drawn lots and my instincts put the squad together. I didn't really think too much about it. But you know what? We ended up with a good bunch. And he did. Katori's very capable. Oki's very capable. And of course, Osamu. So, excited. And then it's revealed that Suwa apparently knew this entire time that the lottery was rigged. So the random,
unbeknownst to me, I didn't know that.
I didn't know it either. But somehow, and I wish they had explained how Suwa knew this. Like, we got a little panel like before this where he understood it. But he basically explains that the wooden sticks that were used to draw lots for who would pick and what in what order were made from some special Tryon thing, and they reacted to the individual Tryon signature of the people drawing the lots. So everybody had their draft picks kind of destined for them, and they're like, why would they go through all that trouble? And so it was like, I mean, remember that survey that we took where we had to explain who we didn't want to be on a squad with? They probably did it so, people would end up on squads with folks they said they hated. And Katori realizes, like, oh, what happened? What, you got something to say?
Makumo, he just starts getting uncomfortable as soon as he said that. I'm like, oh, come on, bro. You could have held it down.
Yeah.
They're like, shit, I don't know what you're talking about. I love all of y'all. Equally.
Just been real fake Big Brother about it. Just like, I love all of you.
Real fake.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So Suwa decides to take the team and, check the facility and see what it's like with supplies and whatever, food, baths, toilets, and water. And it turns out we cut over to the monitor room where individual A-rank members are watching each one of these squads. Or I think like maybe squads of 2 are watching each pod. And there are a couple of people who they take note of who's sitting down to check out the laptops first or who's going to check the accommodations first. Kakizaki, Kitazo, Suwa, and Murakami all went first to go check out the digs, and Utagawa, Oji, and Kodera are starting with the data.
They're all judging them.
They have to. Because
like, damn, how you gonna make me lose points because I wanted to go see how the beds look?
Hey, they didn't say that. They didn't say that specifically.
That's true.
They didn't say one choice or the other is worse. But
yeah,
they also noticed that Wakamura is getting a pretty bad start. But they're like, I don't know. He's checking the files. And they explain the system behind the laptops is that the captain gets the orders, and they have to share the orders with everybody else. We cut over to we're still with Wakamura, and he realizes that that Hughes can't read the rules because of course he's a neighbor, but to everybody else he's from Canada. So they basically I really like this scene, first of all, because like Rokujira's like, oh, you can't read it, right? Hey, can one of you volunteer to read the rules to Hughes? And they're like, wait, how do you understand us if you can't read Japanese?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, because of my Tryon based I only understand you guys by interacting with the Tryon based data in your voices. Basically our Tryon bodies translate to each other, and they're like, whoa, you could do that? It's probably bullshit. I don't know. They don't confirm if this is a for real deal thing.
I mean, it's probably true, just because neighbors probably don't speak the same language as,
that's fair,
Earthlings. So I guess he could be telling the truth here. It doesn't seem like Husei bullshits a lot.
No, I'm not saying that this is a lie that Hughes came up with. I'm saying that like the top brass is like, okay, if anybody asks, this is why. But you know what? That also makes sense. It's not that big a deal. I was just thinking aloud, is like, I wonder if that's a real thing, but that totally makes sense. But yeah, they're basically like, hey, so wait, when you don't have your Tryon body, does that mean you can't understand us? And Hughes is like, yes, that is the case. But I do have my horns, which works as a Tryon body, so I can understand you guys fine.
That should be fine either way. I think that's going to play a role. I think someone's going to run out of Tryon, or maybe they're going to get out of their Tryon bodies, like to go to sleep or something like that, and then they're going to say goodnight, he's going to be like, good night.
Yeah. Good night.
And they're going to be like, what?
No, I mean...
What you mean good night? No, not you. They're like, what the fuck you mean good night? How'd you know I said that?
No, he could do it with without a Tryon body too. Like, he
no,
says
but
that
but like then they're gonna be like, oh, how? Like, how could you do that?
He's saying,
I ain't gonna lie, man. They might find out about this nigga on this trip.
They might. I will say that, but I don't think this may not be it, because they established that even if they're out of Tryon bodies, he can still understand them. So, and Hughes apparently seems like he has a big Tryon supply. So I don't think he's gonna run out.
Well, okay, they're gonna address like some of the rules, and then I'll try to remember and bring this up again.
Right.
Or what I'm talking about.
This is the moment I like that I was talking about. I know this is the Yakoma squad operator. She asks like, how'd you know that Hughes can't read Japanese? And he's like, well, Osamu called me yesterday and explained to us how Hughes was not raised in Japan. And they're like, whoa, that's pretty good leadership. And I like it. Hughes throws a little respect his way. He goes like, he tends to take initiative like that. And it's like, oh, our boys are getting along and respecting each other.
Because he knows Makumo's work ethic. I mean, he don't gotta like him as a person, but he know what the fuck, what time it is when it comes to Makumo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ikoma squad operator is basically like, my guy would never. It's pretty funny. We cut over to Mizukami squad, who's looking over the rules. He gets the rules first. All the captains have the rules before everybody else, and they distribute the rules to the team. So he's reading about the battle simulation assignment rules, and he deletes it before sending it to his squad, which is like, whoa, sus.
Sus AF.
Yeah, and
he's been moving real weird.
Yeah, and the number 2 squad takes notice of it. They're like, oh shit, Mizukami deleted the rules. And And the
damn.
yo, I think he's the only one who did it too. And yeah, he explains that the operator explains that like, well, it's entirely possible that not sharing every last bit of data will give a leader more control over that underling of their underlings. That said, how audacious of him. And yeah, basically,
I like the way he did that. By the way, just loving this, like, you know, the small things. How it went. He showed her natural thought process that leads her into saying that out loud.
Yeah,
which is natural. That is how it occurred. I don't know. I just thought that was really well executed.
Yeah, no, that's like a little subtle.
Am I being extra right now?
No. I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. It's just like a lot of the time it's funny with shonen manga where they're just like this guy, and with no context. Yeah. But like you know, World Trigger is heavily detailed like that. You know, you got to appreciate the little things about it. So we cut over to Rindo, who's also looking over, and the Tamakoma one girl. I forget her name. It's been so long for World Trigger. I know she's the ex girl from
operator, right?
That's their operator, but the girl next to her. I feel like I should know her name, but I don't. I feel really ashamed. Brian, you got this?
She's cool. You know,
she's cool. She's ex girl.
Yeah, you know, ex girl. She turns up.
Yeah, and she's basically like, wow, this isn't really feeling like a test, huh? And it turns out everybody's doing about the same. Everybody's doing okay. No one's doing overly better than everybody else. And Jin comments is like, yeah, that's because there hasn't been a real measure to their weaknesses.
Talking about Konami?
Konami, damn it. Thank you, Brian. I should know this. I feel ashamed. I apologize. But yeah, so she's basically like, Konami's like, things are pretty equal, you know, and just like, we'll see when the teamwork's really going to be tested when a squad starts taking the lead. And that's where the chapter ends. Yeah, I mean, this is just kind of the start establishing things. I don't know how this test is going to go. It's kind of weird and unpredictable in that way because it very much depends on dynamics and whatnot. So I really like this chapter. I'll say one more thing, and I'll let you guys. We get a lot of comments would be like, you guys should analyze the separate squads and why they came together the way they did. And we'd love to, but World Trigger very much does it on its own.
Yeah.
World Trigger is just when you think you're gonna analyze World Trigger analyzes itself the next chapter, which I mean that's part of the charm and that's part of why we love it. We'll keep analyzing it and stuff, but just so you know, it's kind of rough to do it when like Ashiharu's sitting at his desk is like, oh, you think you know what's going on? Well, no, I'll tell you exactly what's going on next chapter.
I love how Suwa was the guy who noticed when bullshit is going on, you know?
Yeah.
You know, I didn't care for Suwa that much until Chris made a point about Suwa Squad. And I remember reacting like, I guess they're okay. I just kept thinking about it. I kept seeing them, and I was like, you know what? These are some cool motherfuckers. Because these are the savvy guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These are the guys. These are the thinkers. They just don't, you know, they're just not presented that way. Which is cool.
Yeah. I mean, I like.
There was a point I wanted to make earlier, right? So, in part of the rules, they said that they had to keep their try-on body on from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it didn't specifically imply that they weren't allowed to keep it on past those times, right? So, I guess maybe you could say Hyusei would be able to keep his try-on body for all day, all night, right? But I do believe that he went out of their way to like make a point of that, you know, for Hyusei. Like I said, I think maybe he's gonna trip up or something, and they're gonna remember that.
Yeah,
because he was explaining to them, and that is something that's unique to Hyusei.
Yeah,
right. Because obviously they haven't seen that before, so I think they're gonna be really keyed in. And I mean, even aside from that, from him being a suspicious person in the first place. He's gonna be in a little, like, you know, in a small confined area with 3 other people for a whole entire week.
Yeah,
they're gonna get to know each other, man.
Oh yeah.
You know, one way or another, whether they want to or not.
Is it a week? I don't remember how long this part of the
I
test
believe
takes.
so. I believe so.
Well, yeah,
Let's
okay.
see.
If that's the case, because I thought it was like kind of like a day or two, but if that's the case, if it's like several days, then yes, Hughes will more than likely slip up in front of his squad, which will make the dynamic interesting going forward, even because I think like word will just get around, and maybe Hughes will probably like change some misconceptions that people have about neighbors. It's a week. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. Wow. Yeah. Something's gonna happen with Hughes. I don't see it happening any other way.
That's what I think it's just kind of one of those things that you feel like, well, if it doesn't happen, it's almost weird. Like,
Yeah.
Isn't this the opportunity?
No, you're right.
You know, because it would just be way too cliche for him to have that moment when they're out on the away mission or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's way more drama if a few people know about it, where they can make a good moment out of, like Hugh say, actually trusting the humans and making actual new friends.
Yeah.
And also some, like I said, drama where people know things and tell people and tell another person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
I'm fucking excited.
That's all I really got to say. Brian, do you have anything to say about World Trigger before we move on?
No, this is just a classic, World Trigger thing. I'm just really interested in seeing how he's gonna be able to carry this the show for a while off of just interactions. I think it's gonna be really interesting because we know that for the foreseeable future, combat isn't going to be around. So I'm really interested in seeing how this goes, on how he writes it. Agreed.
I think for sure there's going to be a lot of strategy involved and a lot of thinking. Tryon is going to Tryon usage and their ability to use it in a efficient manner. I think that's going to come about. Remember, they made a point that they're going to have to use their own Tryon to fuel their living container. So they're gonna have to take turns, and they're not gonna just make it easy peasy. And like your boy with the Fujin said himself that the games are just about to begin.
Yeah.
When they there's gonna be rankings and all of that.
Yeah.
It's gonna
also,
I know it's gonna be thought out.
Also, I'm really interested in seeing the new styles or not the new styles, but the different types of leadership that'll come out from this. What we'll see, how people lead and how they choose to lead. Because we already see that there's differences already, and it hasn't really started yet. We already see a dude who's gonna take control of a team just by being the person who's in the know the most. And that's why you have to follow him, right? So that's why he's there's a guy who's literally hiding information from his team so that he has power with information. So there's gonna be a lot of interesting different ideals and what's it called? And different
leadership styles
that I'm really interested in.
Yeah. But with that being said, big fans of World Trigger,